Welcome to the Newsome MMA podcast, sponsored by CBD Life UK. I'm your host, as always, Newsome, and today I have a very familiar voice with me as Kennedy the Machine 2.0 Freeman joins me once again on the podcast. Before we go any further, Kennedy, I just want to say a huge congratulations on the win last Sunday in your professional MMA debut against Silvia Nascimento at Royal Fight Night 2 in Sheffield. So how does it feel to be an unbeaten professional MMA fighter?
Oh, thanks very much. I'm absolutely buzzing with the win, and hopefully it's a start of a really good career. So I'm happy.
Awesome. And I mean, the one thing I love is when a fighter makes a promise and they keep it. You promise violence, and that's exactly what you delivered. So, can you talk us through the fight a little, please? How did the fight start for you? How were you feeling? Did you have a feeling out process before really engaging in order to try and get a read on Nascimento? Tell us how it went down.
Obviously I knew she was a stand-up fighter, so I knew it would probably stay on the feet for a little while. Knowing she was a Thai boxer, I knew she was going to go for the clinch, which she did. But I worked me double unders. She was really strong. I'll give her that. She was really strong. So I just thought, I'll work me double unders and I'll let her tire herself out. We exchanged a few punches, a bit of clinching. I got a low blow, so that didn't help at all.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the
I
fight
saw that.
carried on. That was nasty. And then we broke off at one point, and I threw some strikes, and I thought she didn't like that, so I put the pressure on, and she just didn't like it at all, and the ref stopped the fight.
Yeah, honestly, I'm so happy for you. I said to your dad Ian and your manager Carl as well after the last interview that I could really feel the fire in you. And even in a private message to Carl on Facebook, I told him, and I quote, "Kennedy is going to hurt that girl from Portugal." So I'm really not surprised at the result one bit. But it wasn't all plain sailing, as there were some issues at the weigh-ins. It was announced that Sylvia had missed weight by nearly 4 kilos, I think it was. And although I was talking to Carl a little throughout the process, keeping up with what was happening, most people won't really know what happened from the second you and your team found out she missed weight up until you agreed to fight. So I'm aware that there's some things surrounding this that you can't disclose, which I absolutely respect. But can you run through what happened as much as you're allowed to, please?
Yeah, of course. Obviously it was same day weigh-ins. People were a bit confused about that because it was pro, but I fight a flyweight, she fights a featherweight. But she wanted to drop down and fight lighter, but she couldn't quite make my weight. So we agreed. She wanted 60 kilo, but we agreed same day weigh in because obviously I didn't want her to rehydrate and get too heavy and me still be really light.
Sure.
So that all got agreed. It got agreed weeks and weeks before the fight. Weigh-ins was 10 o'clock on the day. I went down. I weighed in. She wasn't there. I weighed in on weight 59.6, so nearly half a kilo under the weight limit. And the promoter basically said, "Look, it looks like she's not going to make weight." Apparently, when she arrived the day before, the weighed her and she was 61.7. But we said, "Well, where is she? She still needs to be here and get on the scales. We can't go off last night's weigh-in.
Yeah.
It's today the weigh-ins are 10 o'clock." So we hung around and it got after 11 o'clock. Although she was in a hotel 5 minutes away, someone was picking her up. They basically just said, "Doesn't look like she's going to make weight." She got there, and as soon as I seen her, she was a lot bigger than me. Um, and when she got on the scales, she was 63.8 kilos, so 3.8 over the limit, and I was half a kilo under, so there was 4 kilo between us. And they basically just tried to say that they didn't understand it because of the English, but obviously
Right.
they agreed with. When you know numbers, numbers don't change
Yeah,
in any language.
absolutely.
You know numbers. You know 60 kilo. So they basically were just humming and hawing. Carl for HD management was very professional about it, and he sorted it all out.
Cool.
I went to get food because I needed to rehydrate, so I went to get food, and I didn't find out that I was fighting until 3 o'clock, and the show started at 4. So it was a very stressful day. Was I fighting? Was I not fighting? Was she going to make weight? Was she not going to make weight? She eventually managed to get down to nearer the fight weight, and my management, my coach agreed to fight would come all that way. I had 50 supporters coming down from Newcastle who were already nearly there. I wasn't not going to fight, so the fight went ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate there'll be elements that, again, you might not be able to disclose, but can you talk about how the negotiations went down between your fight management team, heavy duty fight management, and the promotion Royal Fight Night in order to keep the fight alive?
Obviously she could have been she lost a bit of weight. We tried to get her down as much as possible, like as much to the limit as what we could, but she didn't make the weight. Um, and with it being a pro fight, obviously a bit of purse money was discussed, but obviously Carl sorted all that out for me. Uh, just obviously, it's not fair that I've made weight and I was there at 10 o'clock for weigh-ins, and that she just didn't even obviously try to make weight. She was, 4 kilo over the limit, so it got sorted, and I'm glad it did because I wanted the fight to go ahead. I trained for 4 months for it, so to be fair, even like I would have fought anyway, but it's just not fair that she came in 4 kilos over, so something had to be sorted a little bit to go more my way. So
Yeah, absolutely. It's a contractual weight. It don't make a difference whether you're fighting in a specific weight division or whether you're fighting catch weight. You put your signature on a piece of paper to make the fight at the weight that you agreed to make, and when one person is not doing that, there's some people, they might have reasons, some might not, but I totally get where you're coming from, and in most cases, in from my experience anyway, the fighter that normally misses weight normally has that advantage as well. It's not the case for most fights, for some fights, but most of the time, in my experience, the advantage has been to the person that's heavier. So, but it doesn't matter. You finished her, you got her out of there, all is good. So I've got
yeah,
to talk about the support that you've had from the northeast. It really did sound like it was amazing with friends, family, fans travelling and taking the 235-mile round trip, spending over 4 hours on the road just to see you fight. So how does that make you feel? And have you got a message for everybody that made it to support you?
oh, honestly, I cannot thank them enough. Like, it was such a stressful day. Didn't know if I was fighting or not, obviously, and then just seeing how big she was, and it was just a long day. But as soon as they got there, I just thought, you know what, I don't care. I've got to win this fight. It doesn't matter. And I had over 50 people come down, so when I walked out, the place just went up. The noise was incredible. Obviously, there was people there who were in the crowd who were also cheering, so there was over 50 people just going wild, and there was no chance I could have lost that fight. It just was absolutely crazy, and I'm having a fight locally soon, so I think it's going to be even bigger for that one, and I can't thank them enough. They had a big flag, and they put it up on the wall and everything, so it was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I saw a lot of the pictures. The one that made me smile was the young girl that had the kick-ass Kennedy uh,
Yeah, yeah,
kick-ass Kennedy flag. That was pretty cool.
yeah. She's not even from up in Newcastle. I'm not exactly sure where she's from, but she's from far away from me. But a family have come up once to watch me fight in a local show because one of their teammates was coming up to fight, and she's been a fan of mine since. So
Oh, that's
she
awesome.
came down, and when I seen her with the banner, it was great. And then once I won my fight, I got straight out the cage. I went over and gave her my trophy that I'd won, so that
Oh,
made her
really?
happy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing. So you touched upon it, Kennedy. The big news that broke just last night. You're getting straight back in the cage in just a few weeks' time. At made for the Cage 27 Vendetta on Saturday the 9th of June, with your opponent being Flore Hane from the well-renowned MMA factory over in France. So how did this come about?
Um, I was possibly getting matched on Made for the Cage and another show, but the other show was just a couple of weeks after my fight, so I wasn't sure whether it was going to be, obviously not knowing if I was going to be injured or
Yeah.
what, or um, it just seemed a bit too close, and Made for the Cage was the better date. So with the two promoters being friends, Anth Hopper, he gave Dale Percival, the promoter of Made for the Cage, the contact details for this girl that he had, and he managed to match the fight. So obviously I went out last night for food with my friends to celebrate and get a message to say that I'm matched. So all my friends were all sat at the table and were buzzing about it. So I cannot wait. Honestly, it's in my hometown, so it's gonna go nuts.
Absolutely, and some people might think it's a really quick turnaround. Some might think it's too quick, but just to remind everybody, when your fight ends that quickly and you're not hurt, you didn't take any damage, you can get straight back in there. It's not a problem. It's really only a worry when you've had a brutal war and you've been hit a lot and the fight's been quite brutal, but there's absolutely no worries here that you're going to be going into this 100%. So, when are you likely to start your camp for this fight? And have you started any pre-camp preparations, such as studying tape on your opponent, or are these sort of preparations something that you'll just be starting very soon?
Obviously I'm having a few days off the gym, a couple of little bruises and stuff and injuries off me camp leading up to this fight, so just give my body a little bit of a rest. But I don't like to have too long of a rest off because obviously I get out of shape, I lose my fitness. for me, it's better to get straight back to the gym and get training than let my body get unfit,
Yeah,
because then it's a lot harder to get back into camp, and mentally it's a lot harder to get back into camp. I've just had a good win, a good camp, so why not just get straight back into another one? I've still got 6 weeks, so that's plenty of time. I'm gonna let my body have a couple of days, maybe go back to training Thursday or Friday, just gently, and then start my camp on Monday. I watched a little bit of this girl, obviously knowing that I could possibly be matched with her before my fight, and like I says, for every fight, I just train stand up and I train the ground, and whatever happens, happens. I don't really focus too much. I think she's another stand up fighter. From the fights that I've watched, she likes to keep it standing, but it doesn't really bother us.
sure. And just jumping back to support in the northeast again, you've said it already. The fights in Sunderland. I can only imagine the kind of support that you're going to be bringing with you this time. Bear in mind the support that you took with you, like I said, 235-mile round trip. Have you got any messages for the fans that are going to be making that trip once again, such as how to inquire about tickets or how to secure the tickets for the event?
Obviously, if they just message me, I'm obviously on a ticket deal and stuff, so it'd be great if people can get it off me rather than straight through the promoter. But they all know to contact us and just get in touch. But it's going to be one hell of a show. Like the people that have been messaging us already saying that they missed me last fight and they've seen it and seen how good of an atmosphere it was and how good of a fight it was, and they want to get on this show. They want to come to this show. So I think it's going to be even, if not double, the numbers of the last time. So it's going to be great.
Awesome. And just to reiterate, get your tickets from yourself,
Yeah.
if possible. And well, that's all she wrote, Kennedy. So I just want to thank you again for taking the time to talk to me tonight. And just like last time out, I'm going to give you the chance to shout out the people you need to shout out, because I know your sponsors are really important for you, because they allow you to be able to train and fight, as well as training partners, coaches, families, and friends. So the floor is yours. Anybody you need to shout out, take your time, take it away.
Obviously, I just want to thank everyone who shout out everyone who came down to me fight. Like, it made it 10 times better having all them people there. It was such a good atmosphere, such a good buzz. Um, just to me corner men on the day, and me dad, me coach, and obviously HC manager for sorting it out because it was such a busy day. And just everyone who supports on Facebook and stuff like that. I know not everybody can get there, but everyone can get the fights. But just having the buzz on Facebook and stuff, and knowing that everyone's keeping an eye out for the fights and stuff, it makes more promoters want to get us on their shows because they see the big following that I've got. So just a thanks to everybody, obviously all my sponsors and everything, and just let's get ready for the next one.
Awesome. And again, from my side of things, if you listen to the interview on the Newsome MMA YouTube channel, it's also available on the Newsome MMA website too, along with so much additional content surrounding all aspects of MMA. It really does have something for everybody on that website, from betting advice to prediction videos and podcasts to specific content coming from heavy duty fight management. And also, please check out my new sponsors of Newsome MMA as well, which is CBD Life UK. You can access the offers from my sponsorship by clicking any of the banners on the Newsome MMA website, and you can also get 15% off your first order by using promo code Newsome MMA, all in capital letters, so don't miss out on that offer. Once again, Kennedy, congratulations on becoming 1-0 in professional MMA. I'm sure we'll talk again closer to your next fight, but if we don't, go and make that 2-0.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. I'm
Thank,
sure we'll keep in contact.
absolutely. Thanks a lot, Kennedy.
All right. Thanks. See ya.
Bye.